Hello everybody, I'm Equinox67 and welcome to 2021. Finally, we've made it out to 2020. Hopefully this year goes a lot better for everybody. Hopefully everything goes back to normal and we can all have fun again and go out and do stuff again, hopefully. So I can't think of a better thing to start out the new year with than with a game of Would You Rather. It's been a while since I've done a game of Would You Rather, so I think it's time. I think it's time we did another one. I don't know how many I've done before. Have I done it twice before, I think? Maybe? Don't know. It'll be in the playlist with the others anyway. So check those out as well. But yes, it is 2021. We're going to do some Would You Rather. So let's jump straight into it. Would you rather be allergic to babies or be allergic to elderly people? Ah, good. We're jumping straight in there with the... What? Allergic to babies or allergic to elderly people? What? Okay. If I'm going to be allergic to any, I guess elderly people. You can't be allergic to a baby. It's a baby, right? What if you want to have kids? You're gonna be allergic to your own kid, right? It's gotta be the elderly people. I can't speak. Why can't I speak today? It's gotta be the elderly people. I'm gonna be allergic to elderly people. You can't be allergic to babies. So every time an elderly person walks past, you just give me allergic. Oh, that's funny. Oh, we're starting out with a good one. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go with elderly people. Definitely elderly people. All right. Next question. Would you rather have the ability to have full control over your dreams, or never have to sleep? Oh, that's a good one. Again, wow. Okay, never have to sleep, or have full control of your dreams. That's a good one. Because you could literally dream literally anything you wanted. Literally anything you wanted to dream, you could dream. In theory, I suppose it depends on how the dream works, because if you could potentially have full control of your dreams, you could, in theory, at some point, otherwise, obviously you'd start out, you have full control of your dreams, all of a sudden, you're going to do some funky stuff, you're going to probably do some crazy stuff. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Literally, you have full control of your dreams. So at some point, after that point, you're going to want to, you probably move into some sort of, if you were smart, you might move into some sort of teaching yourself stuff through your dreams, because you can have full control of your dreams. So you could potentially teach yourself stuff in your dreams, and then in real life you'd remember the stuff, maybe. So like, if you wanted to learn a new language, you could learn a new language and then you'd learn it in real life as well as just in your dream. Or would you just forget everything after you woke up? Because that would suck. In which case, never having to sleep would be perfect, because if you never have to sleep, then you can do all kinds of things. Like, at the moment, in the current world, right now, people sleep during the night and they stay awake during the day. Mostly. There are some people that do night shifts, but mostly the world sleeps at night. So, in the current situation, never having to sleep would be good, because you'd go to work in the day, probably have a job during the day, you do all that, and then you have all night where you're never sleeping. So you'd never sleep for like 6, 7, 8, 9 hours that you would normally sleep. You would have all of that time to do something else. That would be really cool. I would like that. But it depends on the dream, honestly. Dreaming and having full control would be really cool, because you'd be able to do literally anything. Anything you want, you could literally dream it, and you'd have full control over it. Or you could just never sleep and maybe do some stuff. That's a hard one, actually. When you think about it, that's a hard one. Literally anything you want, but it's a dream. Or do some stuff when you would normally be sleeping. Actually, you know what? It sounds pretty simple. You just do anything you want when you're dreaming, right? I think I might go with that. I think we're going to go with that. I'm going to go with anything we want, but we would be dreaming. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have full control of our dreams. That's what we're going to do. I've decided. That's it. Next question. Would you rather be known for interrupting Taylor Swift or be known for smacking Rihanna? What? Can you imagine being that guy that's known for interrupting Taylor Swift? Oh, hey, you're that dude that interrupted Taylor Swift. How much of an insult would it have to be to Taylor Swift to be known for it, to be famous for interrupting her? She's like doing like a really important speech, being like, hey everyone, hey, how you doing? She's in like a concert or something, doing a concert, and then you just run on the stage, hey everybody, hi. Oh, that would be funny. That would be funny. Or smacking Rihanna. I mean, let's be honest, that's not the one you want to be doing. Okay, obviously, it's an obvious answer. I mean, I would definitely be known for interrupting Taylor Swift. I mean, honestly, who would smack Rihanna? Why would you smack someone? Interrupting Taylor Swift, yeah. But smacking a person, no. Not cool. Alright, next question. Would you rather live in the past or live in the future? Ow, that's a good one as well. Oh, live in the past or live in the future? I mean, again, that's a difficult one. I mean, you've got so many positives to both. Again, if you live in the past... Okay, I can't think of a single good thing. I mean, you don't have any technology in the past. Your life would be a lot simpler. It would literally be you're just living, you know? In the past, they just lived, right? I mean, they have jobs. You still have a job in the past, usually. You're living in the past, you're going to be, I don't know, probably like a farmer or something. There's a lot of a thing back in the day was farming, or I mean, there's a lot of trades and stuff you could do. There's woodworking, there's metalworking, there's all kinds of things you could do as a job, I suppose, when you think about it in the past. But it depends on how far past you go as well. If you go in like World War One past, or you go in like Vikings past or Romans past, you know, those kind of things, then it's like, I mean, you could live at any time you want in the past. You'd have to be living in the past. You wouldn't have any technology. Only, you know, you probably would be having a sword or something. Probably carrying a sword. I don't know. I mean, if I lived in the past, I would have to live way back in the past, and it would just be a nice, simple life. Everything would be quiet. There wouldn't be, you know, cars and planes, and there wouldn't be noise as much. It'd be nice and quiet in the country. Probably it'd be a lot less people around, a lot less buildings around, a lot less cities. I would quite go for that, honestly. But then if you look at the future, you've got a whole bunch of technology probably in the future. There's probably going to be space travel. That would be cool. I imagine at some point in the future, depends on again how far in the future you go in, but if you're in the future, who knows? There could be space travel, you could be immortal, you could have no job because AI would probably do everything for us. Machines would probably do everything for us. So you probably don't even have a job. You could probably just do whatever you want to do every day. Probably. But you'd just be living. You'd be maybe immortal. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. That's a hard one, actually. Again, both have positives, negatives, I guess. I mean, living in the future is just like living in the present right now, right? Because, I mean, just the technology would just be different. So, I mean, it wouldn't be... Wherever you're living, it would be just the present. The present would be the past would be present. The future would be present. I don't know. Would I live in the future or would I live in the past? I think actually living in the future, maybe. I know that's probably an obvious answer to some, but I think living in the future would probably be the one I would go for. Because living in the past is quite a thing I would like to do, but I'd like to visit the past. Because again, time travel might be a thing in the future. I mean, that'd be cool. Then you could go visit the past anyway, potentially. Right? They might invent time travel in the future. That'd be cool. Then you'd be able to go visit the past. There you go. I did it. I fixed it. I found a loophole. I can go visit the past whenever I want. So there you go. I would live in the future. That's what I would do. Would you rather have a large painting of yourself or have a life-size sculpture of yourself? Well, honestly, I can honestly say I'm not that guy to have a large painting of myself on a wall. That's an easy question. I'm gonna be a sculptor. I don't do paintings as much as I mean, it would be cool to have a sculpture of myself. That's it. I'm that guy. I wouldn't have a painting of myself. I'm not that kind of guy who has a massive painting on himself behind, his desk or something. Like, if I could have my desk right here, and then have like a painting of myself behind me. In like, is it Dodgeball or something? Right, where he's like grabbing the horns of the bull, and it's like, that was me. That was totally me. Yeah, that was totally me. It's like, nah, that's not me. Okay, I'd rather have a sculpture of myself, which would be cool. But I mean, why would I want a sculpture of myself? I don't even know why I would want that. But I would go with that. Sculpture of myself, definitely. Next question: would you rather be in jail for a year, or live in complete isolation in the mountains for a year? Okay, yeah. I mean, the answer is obvious to me. Again, I would live in the mountains for a year. You wouldn't be in jail to start with. You'd be free to do whatever you want. Secondly, other than the fact that you're confined to the mountains in isolation for a year. Other than that, you're in the mountains. You've got the whole mountains. You're in isolation, so you'd never see anybody. You'd never speak to anyone. You'd have to find your own food or grow your own food. I mean, assuming that you could do that, the mountains would be perfect. I mean, you'd be living in the mountains. Imagine the views. The weather could be cold, to be fair. I mean, it depends on how high in the mountains, I guess. I mean, if you're like really up there in the mountains, it could be just permanently snow, which would make it hard to grow things unless you're going inside, I guess. But if you're like in the mountains, and it's like grassy mountains and sun shining all the time and stuff like that, then yeah, the mountains would work. Mountains would be cool. It could be. I mean, the mountains even can have like forest. You can have forested mountains and stuff. You could have all kinds of things. You could live a lot. It would be a really good life living in the mountains. It would be a really good life. Mountain air is supposed to be really, really good for you as well. So I would absolutely choose to live in the mountains for a year in isolation. I'm good being alone. I don't mind being alone. I can do that. That's no problem. That's an easy question. Or be in jail for a year. I mean, no. I mean, jail is just not good in any sense. It's not good. So, yeah, definitely mountains. Mountains for a year in isolation. That's what I would do. Would you rather be the last human left on Earth, or be dead? Be the last human on Earth, or just be dead? That's so random. Okay, well, I mean, I'd rather be the last human on Earth then. I'd rather not be dead, so I'd rather be the last human on Earth. Again, in the current state right now of the world, obviously if there was no humans alive, but in this current state of the world right now, there would be complete cities, and I could go anywhere I wanted. I could drive probably any vehicle I wanted. I could fly, potentially. I'd have to learn how to fly, but I could probably teach myself how to fly. Right? There's plenty of flight simulation places out there in the world that I could go to. I could teach myself to fly. I could fly anywhere in the world. I could drive any car I wanted in the world. I could eat any crop or any fruit from trees or plants. There's got to be millions of those things around the world. I would always have food, probably, apart from maybe winter. Winter would be more difficult, I guess. But you could always do stuff. I'm sure you could always find food. Always. Being the last human on Earth would be cool. Honestly, better than being dead. Let's be honest. Better than being dead. So definitely be the last human on Earth. So that's it for Would You Rather. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you are, definitely check out the link down below. I will leave a link to the Would You Rather game and where I've been getting all the questions. Go check it out. Play it yourself. Have a good 2021. Make this year a better year than last year. Whatever you do, have a better year than last year. Because last year sucked. So definitely have a good 2021. Hopefully you enjoy this year and make the most of it. And I will see you all on another video.